And, of course, the 2013 football season will be kicking off this week on Saturday against Western Kentucky in Nashville. And here to tell us all about it is Coach Stoops.
Good afternoon. Good to see everybody. We're excited that it's game week finally. Our players and coaches have worked extremely hard the past 8 months to put us in position for this first game. So we're looking forward to getting out there, seeing what we're all about, see what we have. Excited about a great challenge, a team that won seven games and went to a bowl. So it'll be a great challenge, and looking forward to getting up there and getting this season started.
Mark, you obviously weren't here, but do you want the guys who were here last year using that Western game as motivation?
If they need to, sure. I don't think. I mean, yeah, it did. I told them that, and it bothered me that that we lost that game a year ago, and it should bother them. But all that's going to go out the window. It's about preparation. So.
Mark, how strange is this to have a team that this program has played the last couple of years, but it really doesn't know a lot about because of the change?
Yeah.
And prepping for a week one game where you don't know what you're going to see.
Yeah, I think both of us are in the same situation, though. I think, well, they've had a little bit more time if they wanted to get creative and change some things up, certainly between the years. But it'll be a great challenge. Very good offensive mind, very good defensive mind over there at Western. So we'll have a lot to prepare for.
Mark, what do you know about Bobby Petrino?
Just watching him. I don't know him personally, have never played against him, but just watching him, you can see he's a great play caller and a very good offensive mind, and obviously has had a great deal of success.
Mark, what are your routines like for game week? Like, do you have your kids stay in hotels usually
Yeah.
before home games?
Before home games, yes. Yeah, we will. We'll travel and stay here locally when we play at home, and stay in a hotel the night before, yes.
Mark, what are your emotions? Are you excited, tense, nervous?
Yeah, I think it certainly is a little different Monday than it's been for the past 8 months. Knowing that game week is here, so a little bit more excitement. Just making sure we're prepared the right way, and just all the little things. Without being a head coach before, just the travel, just how the procedures and all that. Just making sure myself, the team, and the coaches are all on the same page.
Mark, with so many unknowns, you don't know them that well, they don't know you, coach. Is it going to come down to maybe halftime adjustments?
I think it certainly could be. Like most games, we expect a very tough, hard-fought game, and obviously they'll be very well coached. I think our team is prepared extremely well to this point, and we'll be ready to go. And yes, I think halftime adjustments will be important, as they really always are.
What did you do in the last 8 months to kind of instill confidence in these guys? And have you seen that play out on the practice field during coaching?
Yes, and I think we need to continuously work on that. That's something that does not come very natural to our team right now. And so, I think, with confidence, you got to prepare. If you're preparing the right way and going about your business the right way, then I think they'll gain more and more confidence. Go ahead.
How important then is it to get this new era off on a good foot when you talk about building confidence?
Yeah.
Not sort of stub your toe.
I think it is important. I'm not shied away from that question. I think this game is very important. There's a lot of excitement around our program right now and around the state and nationally, really. So it's time for us to go out there and prove it and see what we're all about. And I think I'll be excited about it, and I know our team will be as well.
Coach, you talk about your depth a lot. What about Western's depth? Do they have any positions where you're just worried about and that are going to give you fits?
Well, I think they're deep in the secondary, which is they have a good experienced group coming back in the secondary. Extremely talented middle linebacker that makes an awful lot of tackles. They lose some guys from a year ago up front. So we all have our issues and guys to replace from a year ago. But I'm sure they'll lean heavily on the running back. He's a fantastic player, Antonio Andrews, and just a great player, and so he's somebody that we got to keep an eye on.
Mark, are you committed to playing both quarterbacks this week, or if it is a situation where whoever goes out there first, if he's playing well, you'll just run with him?
Yes, we are. We're not going to set anything in stone, so we don't want to tell these players something that's not true. We'll name a starter. The starter's going to go out there, and he's going to go, and he's going to run with it. We do plan on playing both quarterbacks, yes. But if the other guy's rolling and we're doing well, then we may stick with it.
Coach, of all the
the youngsters, the new ones that we have coming to camp, which one stands out in your head, or maybe two that people are going to probably be hearing a lot about come Saturday?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think Ryan Timmons is a guy that we all are excited about, and he'll be out there. He'll play quite a bit. Javis Blue, who's not a youngster, he's a junior college transfer, but we expect a lot out of Javis. Jason Hatcher has been very impressive throughout camp. So those are a few guys that I think let me think here. Yeah, those guys will be out there for sure. Yeah. Alex. You guys always get me on Alex because I've been bragging on him, but Alex has been extremely good throughout camp. Alex Montgomery, expect to see him out there quite a bit.
What is it about Jason Hatcher that stands out to you?
He's got a motor. He's very explosive, and you know it's important to him. So you know we expect him to contribute. You know he's got a little bit more depth in front of him, and you know he's had a few nagging injuries through camp that has slowed him a little bit. Nothing major. He's out there today in full go and all that, but he's missed a little time that put him a little bit behind.
Mark, is Willis caught up with everything? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel good with Nate. He is caught up. He's a guy that missed summer, as you know, and so he's working his way into shape right now, and that's hurt him a little bit, as you would expect. He's just not as physically prepared as the rest of our team, and that slowed him down a little bit. But we expect him to be out there contributing.
How much do you have to worry about the emotions that will be around this game, taken away from your team's focus?
Mm-hmm. I think you always worry about that. I think with the opener, that's something to consider. I think it's very important for our team to be energized. But again, I told them this very early in the process to be motivated to prepare and to have a great week of practice, and then we can go out there with confidence and play well and let it loose.
When the lights come on Saturday, are there one or two things you're going to be looking for from your team? Like signs early on that, hey, okay, we're going to be okay? Yeah,
I think just that, you know, talking about the emotions and be able to handle it. But you know, again, there's a fine line there. You want them energized. You want them very into the game. But the energy is not going to win you the game. You know, the preparation, the team that's prepared and the team that's the best team is going to win. And, you know, who makes the fewest mistakes and doesn't turn the ball over and things like that. So, you know, but I think yeah, I'm very excited to see where we're at as a team and to see, you know, what the character of this team will be come Saturday.
When that light does go on, is there going to be a moment where you yourself kind of step back and go, I'm head coach, this is the first game? Are you going to be able to enjoy that at all?
I think maybe briefly or at the beginning. I mean, certainly, I mean, I'm human, and it will be exciting for me. It is to this point, and it will mean something to me. And but then it's getting right back at the task at hand and getting your team ready to win.
Mark, Cody was out a couple of weeks, and yet I know he's listed first on the depth chart. Does that mean you're convinced he's 100% all is good with him? As
of right now. You know, we'll see. I'm going to be very brief on the injuries from this point forward here as we get closer to the game. I've been very lenient with y'all on that, but yes, that's where it's at today.
Maybe why is he number one on the depth chart? Let me rephrase it.
Pardon me?
Why is he number one on the depth chart?
Because he's always been number one on the depth chart.
Mark, how close are you being able to play at the offensive tempo that you want?
Pardon me?
How close are you being able to play at the tempo you want on offense?
I think we're close. Again, I think if you ask Neil that question, probably not the tempo that he would like to see, and I think we'll improve as we go forward. But I think still, as a defensive coach and watching it, it's still at a pretty good clip.
If you guys play your best football game on Saturday, what will that look like to you in terms of things you see offense and defensively? What if you play a game you're pleased with? What are the things?
I want us to play. You know, I want us to be exciting. You know, and make plays. I think you know, we have an exciting brand of offense and an exciting defense. But I want to see us play within ourselves also, and just have a bunch of guys being on the same page. You know, it's very difficult to win when 9 or 10 guys are doing the right things and 1 or 2 are not. So everybody needs to be on the same page, playing together as a team, and that energy needs to carry over to all phases.
So you were intrigued to see what the character of the team would be. What do you think it looks like now at this point, and what are some of the characteristics?
I think we're a team that's still growing, a team that's still learning and trying to put it all together. I've said it all along. I've been pleased with their attitude and their work ethic. and the way they're going about their business. You know, the character of the team, to see, you know, how much of a chip on our shoulder we have and how we go out there and play and how confidently we play is yet to be seen.
Mark, you stated a few offensive game plans in your day. What do you think it is that makes Petrino effective when it comes to attacking opposing defenses, especially through the air?
Yeah, I think he's just obviously a very good coach, and he understands what you're doing. And you do need to be multiple and change some things up. I think he has a good answer for what you're doing and have some beaters for you, and you need to try to stay ahead of the game there.
As a defensive coordinator, who would you prefer to go up against, Max or Jalen, and why?
That's a very tricky question. But fair enough. I think the thing is obviously the simple answer to that question is one's a very dynamic runner and one's not. But it would be who's going to effectively run the offense. If a person is only a runner, then I would feel pretty good as a defensive coordinator being able to stop that. And so I think it's whoever's running the offense most effectively.
Does Whitlow, do you feel confident he brings more than just those wheels?
Well, I think, yes, I do. I do feel good. I feel like he can operate the offense very effectively, and he has done some very good things. Now, with that being said, Max is better in certain areas as well, you know, so, you know, we'll see how Jalen grows, and we'll see how Max grows. They're both very good players.
Neil has said,
Go ahead.
Neil has said, when we ask him about home run hitters and stuff like that, he says, you know, that's great, but right now I just want a good play stacked on a good play. Is that would that go for the whole team defense as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. We need to be ahead of the chains offensively, and the same thing defensively. We can't be giving up big plays, and you know, we need to play very smart, and we need to have everybody on the same page. That's for sure, as a team.
Coach, how many running backs do you like to play, and do you have a certain number of carry you'd like each guy to get?
It kind of depends. I think hopefully we'll get a bunch of snaps. You know, with Coach Brown and this offense in the past, they've gotten a bunch of snaps per game. So if we're getting a lot of snaps, that means we're moving the ball. And if that's the case, then we're going to need to play quite a few running backs. But Raymond will be the guy. And, you know, we expect him to be able to carry a big load and be able to run it quite a few times. And we feel like we have some good depth behind them. I'm very pleased with Jonathan, Deshaun, and hopefully JoJo can give us a little bit as well.
Like McLean's listed as a linebacker on the depth chart. Is that a permanent change, or is that?
That would be the nickel spot. So maybe a little typo there, but Sam nickel for us, depending on down and distance.
Mark, are you planning on telling Max or Jalen Friday or telling us? Would you plan on telling them Friday or Saturday who starts?
We're going to probably tell them sometime this week who's going to be in there to start the game.
Mark, have you all decided?
We will tell them this week. I'm not going to tell you when. You're going to be trying to get that.
You're not going to tell us, right?
No, I'm not. Now, this first game, I just don't see the reason, and it's been a close battle the whole time, and we might as well use it to our advantage if it is one. I'm sure they're going to be prepared for both guys.
Will you let the team know which quarterback, or just the player himself?
Just the players themselves. I think the team will kind of get that feel as who's getting the first reps with them.
Have you all made that decision yet, Mark?
Yes.
Coach, can you talk to us about the kicking game and special teams?
Yeah, feel good about the kicking game. Landon obviously has been very effective and very good punter. You know, he had the injury in the spring. He seems to be 100%. He's kicking the ball very well, so very pleased with him. Joe will be doing the kicking. Joe has been very good throughout camp. He's been consistent. Like I said in one of the previous press conferences, he hit 2 field goals over 50 in 2-minute drills in scrimmage situations. So had some good pressure on him in front of the whole team and hit 2 in 2 different situations. So I felt good about that. Right now, Joe's been more consistent and has a stronger leg to do the kicking.
Coach, last week you talked about playmaking or play calling processes.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you involved in the personnel and as to who's in the game, or do you leave that completely up to the position coach?
That'll be up to the position coaches for the most part. Again, if I feel like somebody needs to be in there, I'll say it and it'll get done. But I have a lot of confidence in them in making those substitutions. And again, you know, especially offensively, there's so many plays. You know, hopefully a lot of plays, and so we need to rotate guys in there quite a bit. And defensively, in there with them making personnel decisions daily.
With Bud Dupree and Zadarius, what are your expectations for your defensive ends and pressure as a whole?
Yeah, we're expecting big things out of those two guys. You know, they're both very good players, and we need some production. You know, it's no secret in this style of defense that you have to be good up front, and we're going to lean on those guys to be playmakers for us.
Mark, it seems like at least among the fan base, maybe there's this idea that a couple years down the road is where they're really looking towards. Do you have to worry about your players maybe hearing that talk with low expectations for this season?
Sure, yeah. I think it's reasonable to you know, that they may hear that. You know, we don't talk about it much. I mean, we talk about preparing to win every game, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to go about our business each and every day and preparing to win. And I expect our team to be the same.
How much of that preparation, you talk about the process, how much of that preparation as far as teaching them, this is how we prepare, this is how we watch film,
Yeah.
this is how we practice, this is how we do game week?
Right.
Is part of the process, and how far along do you feel like you are in that aspect of it going into the first game?
Yeah, that's a great point, and that's why we did that last week. You know, so they had a good feel what a typical Tuesday was, a typical Wednesday was. And so that is part of it in how we do things, and when we go against scout team and when we go against each other, and how much we're going to do that on Tuesday and Wednesday, and you know, because I think it's very important for us to keep on developing our team. And so that's going to be a fine line there of balancing the you know, being able to physically take it or develop your team. And right now we're going forward as the plan says, and you know, working out a pretty decent amount on Tuesday and Wednesday against each other still.
So you haven't had to tweak that too much yet?
Not too much.
Mark, I may be paraphrasing this to some degree, but I thought I heard you say possibly that you were looking for more quote unquote swag from your team.
Well, I don't know if I said that exactly, but but I do want them.
Confidence.
I do want them playing with more of an attitude. But again, I'd rather have it. I don't want it false or fake.
Right.
You know, but you know, I want them to give it the maximum they can. You know, and I feel good about this team. I've said it all along. We can be a very good team, and we can shock a lot of people. We just got to do what we can do and do it to the best of our ability, and that's what I want to see out of them.
How soon will you realize what you have? Is it the first play, first series when the game's over?
I think, yeah, I mean, the first game. I think it's, you know, this will be a good test for us, and it'll be a great challenge, and I don't expect it to be easy, so therefore that'll be good to check, you know, test us all the way through.
Mark, going into this thing, do you have fewer questions remaining about your offense or your defense at this point?
I think personnel-wise, it's fair to say probably defensively that we need to continue to improve throughout this year. And offensively, there's a lot of improving guys as well. You know, we're going to count on some guys offensively that have not played a lot of football, so it's important to see how they play in a game-like situation.
Coach, we always talk about quarterback competition. How much does competition at other spots carry over through Saturday's game?
Pardon me? I'm sorry.
The competitions between, you have a few oars here at left guard, receiver. How much does those competitions carry over to this game and the next week?
Yeah, every game, and I've said that before too. Everybody puts a lot of attention on the quarterback situation. But at every position, you know, it's always open. Nobody should feel comfortable with their position. They have to go out and produce and play well, or it's got to be the next man up and constantly putting pressure on these guys to improve.
How excited are you for all this to kind of be done and get in there and actually coach football?
Yeah, it's been good. You know, really the last month, I've been able to get in there and just work on football for the most part. But yeah, I think I'm excited. I'm just excited about, you know, yeah, this conference is over, and let's really get on the rest of the week and zero in on this first game. It's I don't know if it's going to go fast or slow. I'm still waiting to see, but it may go slow from the way I woke up this morning. But you know, this first 8 months, you know, has gone by relatively fast. You know, we've had a lot of work to do. You know, I feel really good. I feel like the staff has done an excellent job. I feel like our players have worked very hard. So we just got to go out there and put it all together and see where we're at.
It sounds like when you talked about Petrino earlier, that if you just sit in a base defense, he's going to find a way to pick you apart. So when you say multiple, you mean changing things up?
Sure.
Try to get in different looks?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to, yes, you got to be multiple in your defenses and not let them zero in on you.
In other words,
Yeah, he has a pretty good beaters with each thing that you're doing. He'll have a pretty good idea of how to attack you.
in other words, one of his trademarks and his coach has been creating mismatches.
Yeah.
Found your weak spot.
Yeah, and I think he does a nice job of taking his shots. He sets up his shots, and you know, he knows, you know, he can get the ball down the field and get some chunks.
Mark, will you sleep this week?
Hopefully a little bit. Yeah, I'm excited, but I feel good. I feel good about the preparation we've done so far. Got to tidy it up here this week, and like I said, just be anxious to get out there and let it rip.
Mark, if you're as excited as you say you are about this week, how excited do you think a guy like Neil Brown is about this game?
No, I think all of our staff and Neil, I think we're all very excited. You know, I think any coach will probably, you know, will tell you that you know, until you get out there and play that first game, you don't know exactly what you have or what your team's demeanor will be and how they'll respond in certain situations. So I think, from what I know, most coaches are always anxious for that first game.
Mark, how do you feel about your team's ability going in to play clean in terms of penalties and no turnovers?
I feel pretty good about that. I think we've worked very hard at that. We've had officials around us all the time, and you know, hopefully we'll be very clean as far as penalties and ball security.
Folks, thank you very much. We appreciate y'all being here.
Okay,
And a couple of notes, need to remind you with school starting this week and also